Hi, this is Ray Jordan. I wanted to spend a few minutes today focusing on how I've been able to use Echo Research's reputation dividend tool, along with some of its other media monitoring services, in assessing reputation of organizations I've been involved with, but also using that assessment to tune and refocus the communication resources and processes and focal points associated with the communication functions there. And this is coming from work that I've done over the years with Johnson Johnson, Amgen, and Moderna, in which all three places I've deployed services, putting through the close peering eyes of chief financial officers with sharp pencils at understanding the drivers of market capitalization. What you'll see is an assessment for your company as against its peers and as against the rest of the Fortune 500 group of companies that lay out what the components are of your market capitalization. Now, the drivers of reputation are things like the quality of management, quality of products and services, level of innovation, community presence, and so on. Now, what I found particularly helpful was that the assessment gave you not only value associated with each of those drivers, but the potential, either value or loss associated with moving those drivers. The question of how much leverage you have for each driver is important. Because what it tells you is if you add incremental resources against messaging for that particular driver, you can especially impact reputation. So, one or two quick examples. With one organization, I had found that innovation, lack of innovation, was costing the company some market capitalization. And that was despite the fact that the organization was spending substantially on research and development. And that led us to some self assessments. And we realized over time, this was a longer project, that we had to, in fact, reconstitute the organization's brand so that enough of its identity could be owned up with innovation in the way the company was describing itself. The characteristics of the company that were coming through were not in the innovation side. So that became a very strategic discussion, played out over a couple of years, and that we were able to lead, starting with that finding. In another case, almost a more simpler um, example, an organization found that the absence of community presence was being perceived. Truth was, from a per revenue basis or a per employee basis, we were actually doing more. What I also saw was that across a fairly large communication organization, we had exactly zero communication resources focused on telling our philanthropy story. So we quickly adjusted that, didn't add more resources. We moved resources from another part of the communication organization to focus the community outreach that we were already doing, and saw that score and thus the value associated with that begin to rise over time. This is to give you a sense for how well you can articulate where you're placing your communication resources from a communication planning point of view based on the outcomes. And then, of course, what you can use is the regular media monitoring tools and so on, which look at your ongoing real time effectiveness within each of those drivers to understand how you're doing in moving things along. So I hope that gives you a bit of a picture. You can see I'm enthusiastic about the deployment of market capitalization analytics when it comes to not only understanding the value of your company's reputation, but actually taking action in your communication structure and focus. So thanks for connecting in, and I'm happy to talk with anyone more about this, because I'm passionate about moving these kinds of analytics into a profession. Thank you.